You gotta catch me.
Well, if I had a longer HDMI cable, I'd be all right.
Good afternoon to everyone. I call to order the December 11th meeting of the Southampton County School Board. I am the vice chair. The chair is not here. She has put me on the spot to take her place for this evening. We have Ms. Bond has called us and told us that she's on her way. With her and Ms. Bradley, we will have a forum when we speak to the issues. The agenda was sent out to you. Bradley's on the way. Okay. The agenda was sent out in additions to the agenda. Would like to add an item? Okay, the agenda stands as approved as presented. Approval of the minutes of our regular session were also sent to you. What's the disposition of the body? It's been moved and properly seconded that we accept the approval of the minutes of our regular meeting. Now, this brings us down to our recognitions and our public comment. Public comment is for 3 minutes, and we have someone who has signed up, Mr. Brandon Rogers.
Tonight, I'd like to take a moment to celebrate and thank two remarkable school board members, Mrs. Florence Reynolds and Mrs. Lynn Bradley, as they reach the end of their terms. Mrs. Reynolds, with her 40 years of dedicated service representing I-Board, and Mrs. Bradley, with her impactful 12 years for Franklin, have both been incredible forces for good in our community. They've contributed immensely to our education system and the Southampton community, leaving behind a legacy that will be felt for generations to come in the lives they've touched. Although they're stepping down from the board, the footprints of their service will remain a part of our community's DNA. We are truly grateful for everything that they've done. At this time, I'd like to present Mrs. Bradley with a small token of our appreciation on behalf of the Southampton County School Board and the Southampton County Public School Division. The first token is a plaque, and it reads, "To honor your administrative career, by word and deed, your presence has enriched the lives of students and served as an example for all." And she also has a monogrammed blanket in the box. All right, thank you so much. Again, we really appreciate your service and commitment to the students and the community of Southampton, and you both will be greatly missed.
As the vice chair said, that those members gave us a lot of good discussion and good understanding of our endeavors as a school board. Next item on our agenda is matters from a previous meeting. Is nothing written. Takes us down to item 6, our action items, a financial report and the payment of bills. I give way to the superintendent.
Yes, sir. Ms. Carr, our Director of Finance, is coming to the podium to provide a presentation. Ms. Carr.
And happy holidays. If I can bring your attention to the preliminary expenditure report for the month of November, you'll see that our local operating revised budget for fiscal year 23-24 is now at $35,622,684.83. We have expenditures through November 30th that total $10,453,540.96. This leaves us a balance of $25,169,143.87. Please note that as of the date of this report, 29.35% has been expended from the local operating budget. The November bill list has been attached to the agenda tonight for the board's approval. Are there any questions? Thank you.
Chair would like to entertain a motion on disposition of the bills. It's been moved and properly second that we pay our bills. All in favor, let it be known by saying aye. Aye. Those opposed, same sign.
Okay, thank you.
Next item on the agenda is a tentative budget calendar. Give way to the superintendent.
Yes, as the Vice Chair stated, the budget calendar is in your packet, and you see the dates that we have listed from January the 8th until March the 12th. We will be working periodically and meeting throughout the division on the budget.
Maybe you want to
Will we go through the dates?
explain a little bit about the process.
Okay, sure thing. So when it comes to creating a budget, one of the first things that we do is we send out surveys to the principals, and the principals usually work with their staff to see what the staff's needs are. And then once the principal ascertains the needs of the staff, the principal meets with me as well as Ms. Carr, the Director of Finance, talk a little bit about the staff's desires and whether or not we think that those desires or needs, whether or not they're reasonable. Oftentimes, they have, a long list of needs, and truly all of them, the majority of the time, are things that they need. However, we know that, we do not have an unlimited amount of money, and because we do not have an unlimited amount of money, we have to make cuts. So we make cuts, they start by making cuts at the building level first, and then we'll make cuts when they submit it to us at the division level. And then once Joy Carr and I feel comfortable with our budget, we will meet with the two representatives from the school board, 2 or 3, just depends on who's being appointed. And once we meet with them, they will look at the needs. Again, we will review all the needs. We have the teacher sheets, we have the principal sheets, and sometimes we'll start all back over and just kind of go over everything. But once we meet with them, they will give us their input, and then we will develop a budget. In years past, we have tried to work with the Board of Supervisors and have a liaison meeting with the Board of Supervisors. And we usually have this liaison meeting so that they're not blindsided by our needs. So we will let them know at the liaison meeting what our plans are as far as budgeting is concerned. And normally they will let us know what their plans are as far as their resources are concerned. But be that as it may, once we have that meeting, we'll still go back to the drawing board and take a look at the budget. And then once we do that, we will eventually come to a consensus on a budget, and we will bring that budget to the school board. And that's when I'll do a budget presentation publicly for the school board. Once I do that presentation for the school board, sometimes the school board will have questions, concerns, or just other areas in which they may like to see funds spent. So they will share that information with me publicly. And once they share that information with me, I will take their information into consideration. And sometimes I have to go back and make some amendments. And once I make those amendments, then I'll come back to the board the next meeting and share any changes or modifications that they've asked me to make. Once I make those modifications, if the board is satisfied, then someone will, make a motion saying they'll approve that budget. Once that budget is approved, then we will submit the budget downtown. In years past, I have gone before the Board of Supervisors and made a formal presentation as well as requests from the Board of Supervisors, just so that, we'll provide an opportunity for them to see some of the great things that are taking place in Southampton. We usually provide a presentation that will just have lots of accolades, pictures, just, showing them where the money is going. And once we do that, they will usually have questions, and, they ask questions, and we answer them all to the best of our ability. And after that, we're done. We bring it back to the board, and we go from there. We'll submit our request to the Board of Supervisors, and I can't think of a time that the budget has been fully funded since we have made requests, but we will submit the budget to the Board of Supervisors. Now, in the budget, year after year, we're asking for increases for teachers, increases for bus drivers, increases for nurses, secretaries, those types of things. But it is difficult to increase the salary and to be competitive with places like Suffolk and Chesapeake and some of the other surrounding school divisions if we do not receive the funding from the Board of Supervisors. So there we go.
Okay, helped everyone to understand the process presents itself. This item is listed as a tentative budget calendar. I think we might want to leave it as such until next month once the budget committee has been chosen and we have opportunity to look at what we have before us.
I think we may need to go ahead and approve at least the beginning of it, because I think that first date is January 8th, which is the school board meeting, which is a public comment period, I believe, is the date on there, so should we go ahead and at least approve that first date, and we can look at the rest of the calendar after that?
Any other comments, Bill? Okay,
So I'll make a motion, we approve the January 8th date, and then approve the rest of the calendar after January, or at the January.
that's a motion.
Correct.
Second. It's been motioned second that we accept the January 8th date, that has been presented as part of the tentative budget calendar. All in favor, let it be signal by saying aye. Aye. Those opposed, same sign. Okay, we'll approve that date presented to us. That brings us down to item 7, informational items, with the instructional report. Dr.
All right, our foremost commitment remains to deliver a top-tier teaching and instructional experience for our students. Every month, we shed light on the ongoing events pertaining to our students' teaching, instruction, and evaluation. This evening, Mrs. Kelly Gillette will brief us on the highlights from the past month, which will include the fall coding cycle, Virtual Virginia update, the spelling bee, and January professional development. Mrs. Gillette.
Thank you, Dr. Shannon. Mr. Smith, board members not present, thank you. It's a pleasure to be here this evening. Dr. Shannon discussed what we'll be talking about. Technical difficulty.
So, is that where you want to start?
Okay, for our fall coding cycle, we have been part of Code to the Future for quite a few years. We engage in 2 of the coding project cycles during the fall and mid-year, and then we have a final coding cycle in June for students who do not participate in SOL testing. We have a wide range of variety of projects for teachers to select from, and these are provided by Code to the Future, and also some are developed by our very own staff. We've just completed the fall cycle. It ended on December the 4th, and student projects are now being collected and uploaded so that we can have the digital showcase review on our website and on our school websites. So we'll have those out before winter break for you to see. And there's some pictures, a couple of ones that have already been submitted. For our Virtual Virginia update, right now we're in the process of having high school support conferences. These conferences have the Virtual Virginia teacher, it has our virtual specialist, Mr. Alger Nichols, it has the virtual coach or paraprofessional that's in the room, the student and the parent, and they discuss the progress of the student and what they need to do to continue to be successful in the virtual classroom. The high school student schedules right now are being reviewed by the high school and by Virtual Virginia with the teachers to determine the enrollment for the next semester. Every week, Virtual Virginia grades are updated in PowerSchool for parents to view. The middle school virtual coaches, we held a meeting on December 6th to continue to support our virtual coaches as they are in the classroom with the virtual teachers. The middle school support conferences will begin in January that we just talked about are happening right now at high school. Once again, we're going to participate in the National Spelling Bee. Miss Jennifer Peace is going to be our leader at the middle school with that. She's our 8th grade English teacher, one of them. And she's working with her colleagues right now, and they're picking the spelling stars, and they're compete at the school level. So each classroom does a spelling test to determine who's going to be at the school level competition. That will happen between January 2nd through 5th. We'll have a school level event to let them know, and we'll have our own champion decided the week of January 13th. That person will go to the regional spelling bee sponsored by WHRO. And we had a great time last year. The students really enjoyed it, and we had super representation. You can actually go to the WHRO website and see the spelling bee from last last year with our students. For professional development, January 26th and January 29th are half days for students and professional development for our teachers. On January 26th, secondary will have Apple Classroom professional development, and on the 29th, elementary will participate in 95% phonics lesson libraries, and also iReady growth data with math and reading for grades 4 through 8. On January 30th, it will be a work day for teachers. They will not have professional development today. It will be a complete work day for them to prepare for second semester. And that is the instructional report for this month. Do you have any questions?
Thank you, Mrs. Blood.
Thank you.
Next item on our agenda is the student enrollment report. Did I skip one? Yes, maintenance. Melvin?
Mel was on his way to the podium, but I will say that it would be difficult to run a school division without the people in the maintenance, operation, and transportation department. So thank you.
Without a doubt. Without a doubt. All right, so transportation, we are working, excuse me, Mr. Smith, Dr. Shannon Ford, thank you so much for the opportunity tonight. So speaking to transportation, we are working through a pretty good shortage right now. The staff we do have is amazing, and we do utilize them to the max every day. It is a living, moving thing every day to make transportation work for our division to get our kids to and from school safely and on time, no matter where they go to school. We continue to operate with multiple substitutes and multiple drivers that are single tiers driving a second tier. We do continue to recruit and train and always welcome any new applicants to come into our system so that we are able to train and add to our staff. We continually are monitoring every day our HVAC systems across the division. You know, it's something I've started to do before I go to bed and when I get up in the morning to take a look and make sure that we are straight for the next school day. And like Dr. Shannon said, our maintenance crew with Richard and Roger and Milton and Sean, they're humming around the schools to make sure that when we do get here in the morning that the boilers are rolling and the building is set. We've made minor component replacements across all of our different schools to improve our indoor classroom, hallway, and office climates. Grounds work has been completed at schools and facilities, and our facilities are being prepped for our wintertime and even colder temperatures. We do have outdoor water pieces that we shut down, so we're getting ready for that. Constant communication with the principals and site staff allow for quick responses. The principals are fantastic at reaching out. You know, if there's anything that pops up, and our staff is fantastic on jumping on it and making sure that it's taken care of as quickly as possible. So you kind of got ahead of me. A big shout out to our maintenance staff, our bus garage staff, our school-based staffs, as their dedication and commitment, they make our schools the best they can, and it really does show in their work and daily dedication. So a big thank you to all of them. Now these work orders, you know, from the month between our board meetings, is just a small snippet of what our staff does. These are just some of the bigger components that they do, so you guys can look at those. If you have any questions, give me a holler. Any questions on this tonight? Thank you so much.
Thank you, Mr. Miller. Next item on our agenda, item C, student enrollment.
Sure, currently we have, and that this is as of the December's report, which reflects November's numbers. 2,503 students enrolled within Southampton County Public School Division. Our winners for the Student Attendance Award is Capron Elementary School with 94.41%.
Next item, item D, student/teacher attendance report. You,
I jumped ahead, sorry.
okay. Now, E, our school calendars. Shannon?
Yes, in your packet, you have calendars from various schools, and these calendars just serve as reminders of what's taking place, within the schools throughout the division. We do encourage you to, come out and spend some time at the schools and, just partake of the festivities that occur at each of our schools. Our principals and the staff, they do a marvelous job of planning activities to not only engage the students, but to also engage the families and the communities. So, I'm forever grateful to them for all that they do as far as collaboration and the participation that, that they have. And, we have this information available to you and the public, and if you desire, please come out and join us.
Okay, next item on our agenda is matters from the board, and we have only one item here listed, and that's the statement of economic interest.
Sure. The statement of economic interest is a statement that is required, and Miss Artist has a folder for each board member, and you all will just pick the folder up, do the paperwork, and give it back to Miss Artist.
And I think that is now being done twice a year. Okay. And now, pursuant to section 2.2-37118, subscript 1 and 2 of the Virginia Freedom of Information Act, the board, upon a motion and second, will convene in a closed meeting to consider the personnel matters for the 23-24 school year. Appointments, personnel, and resignations. Proposed teacher pay scale, administrative discipline, title change, Title I change, and the director of school accountability. A couple more items. Salary adjustments, stipends, and high school instructors teaching extra periods, and middle school mentors. Do I hear a motion?
So,
It's been moved and properly second that we convene in closed session. All in favor, let it be known by saying aye. Aye. Those opposed, same sign. Thank you. Break for 5 minutes.
Same side.